Sometimes I'm gaining, then again I'm losing. Sometimes I'm rising, yes, yes. Then again I'm falling. Sometimes I'm gaining, then again I'm losing. Sometimes I'm rising, yes, yes. Then again I'm falling. Let Jesus work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Oh, work it out. You work it out for Mother Lisa. rising, yes, sir. Then again I'm falling. Sometimes I'm gaining, then again I'm losing. Sometimes I'm rising, yes, sir. Then again I'm falling. Let Jesus work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Please, your Father would work it out. Oh, let God work it out. Oh, work it out. You work it out for mother.
Every night I lay to sleep, I pray to the Lord, my soul is keep. About to die before I wake. I pray to the Lord, my soul is dead. Every night I lay to sleep, I pray to the Lord, my soul is keep. About to die before I wake. I pray to the Lord. live to do is
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is David Patrick here with Church of the Eternal Logos. And we're doing a little something called day streaming today. I know I usually don't stream on Saturday, but we are. And today's going to be a bit of a fun and relaxed stream. I expect a lot of chuckles from everybody in the chat. We're going to be looking at Cringe TikTok magic, specifically focusing on witches, warlocks, and sorcery. And so, for those who don't know, a warlock is really just a male witch. Witchcraft in general is describing a type of magic that is usually oriented around the use of herbs, nature, and then it's kind of a difficult distinguishing between like, well, what is ritual magic? What is witchcraft? Well, there's different types of magic. Witchcraft really adopts a lot of it, but typically a witch we associate with a woman. Warlocks are men, and oh my gosh, in preparation, just going through TikTok, it is the black abyss, and I can't wait to put in LGBTQ rituals, LGBTQ witches, trans witches, all types of stuff to see what we come up with today. So there's really no monologue. It's more of a fun, relaxed stream. I'm glad all the nubs are here. Welcome, and a major thank you to First Person Q. Already threw in $2 on YouTube saying best lobby music in the biz funds. Well, thank you very much, First Person Q. Do appreciate that, my brother. And a major shout out to B-Dive and Keenan for their production of all the music that I use for my intros are either B-Dive or Keenan music, Keenan beats. And they are great musicians, not magicians, musicians. But thank you very much, First Person Q, for that. Really appreciate it. But as we go through today, I want you guys to this is going to be very much an interactive stream. So as we go through TikTok, if there's TikTokers, if there's particular searches you want me to use, say, oh, we'll use you need to put in drag queen warlocks. Okay, well, we can do that. I mean, that's what today's stream is about, essentially. It's not so much an intellectual, philosophical stream, but it's really the second part to the stream I did on Grant Morrison, who's a very prominent comic book author, writer, open occultist, magician. He's into chaos magic, which is a sort of a postmodern form of magic. We talked about that a couple streams ago. And I told you I kind of had a three-parter. One was looking at Grant Morrison and just his general worldview as indicative of the sort of occult sphere, especially within the contemporary scene. And then looking at TikTok and the prevalence of TikTok. Now, TikTok, I cannot get a good following over on TikTok. And I've had TikTok take down like 3 or 4 of my little shorts, my reels. I've had YouTube block 1. But the things that you see me post here on YouTube as YouTube shorts, I will try to post those on TikTok. And I've had like 4 of them taken down by TikTok as for one reason or another. So it's very interesting. TikTok has quite the censorious reputation when you discuss certain topics. But when you want to promote abortion or ritualistic magic or teach people what we'll look at today, remember I did a stream with Rachel on Witch Talk, which is what the witches on TikTok call their little sub-community, Witch Talk, that we looked at abortion rituals. You can literally find all that stuff on TikTok. So if you want to find degenerate abortion rituals that Gen Zers are trying to educate people on, you can find all that. But if you were to talk about anything that's sort of right of center, they are very censorious. Shout out to 6079 Smith W. Throws in $5, says, drain the swamp. That what they did when they built the Magic Kingdom, or the Magic Kingdom announced a fake disease on 3/11. NBA shutdown on 3/11 went to Magic Kingdom. Not exactly sure what Smith West 6079 Smith West, not sure exactly what that means. But I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for the support, my brother. And all the nubs out there, guys, if you're feeling generous today, feel free to gift some memberships. I love the gifting of memberships. Obviously, I'm not expecting the Grant Morrison stream. That was incredible. We had, I think, 140 gifted memberships, but that means 140 people got memberships. That is really cool. So if you're feeling generous and you want to support also, another way is potentially gift some memberships, because that helps out our community as well as myself. So just want to throw that out there before we get into all the madness, because it's going to be madness. The whole stream is going to be looking at the absolute black mirror of TikTok. But before we do that, if you want to help myself out and join the website community, feel free to sign up for a website membership. We got 3 different types of memberships. Here's the link to join. And if you'd like to join our Logos think tank, which has been growing, and man, they have good conversation. If anybody's in here that's in the think tank, let them know. It's a lot of fun. The Crucible said, I want to come on and dunk DPH. You're more than welcome. I don't know if this is Andrew or Zen Shapiro or Rachel, whoever's behind the Crucible Limited. You are more than welcome to hop on if you want. But if you want to support the work, you want to join the Logos COTEL Crew think tank, we have that, and it's every other Wednesday. Feel free to check that out. Also, if anybody wants to sign up for a one-on-one session, you can do so with this link right here. It's Andrew. Oh, Andrew, dude, you're more than welcome. I'll text you the link. 1 second. And then if anybody wants to sponsor a stream, of which we just had another sponsor, I'm waiting for them to come back with me to tell me what exactly the topic is. But we'll be doing shout out to Logan Daly. We're going to be doing a stream. I'll probably get that research done before Nishitani, but looking at an overall historical overview of the Celtic and Irish people. So shout out to Logan Daly for his generous support. That was very nice of him, and that's going to be coming up in the near future, probably sometime next week or the week after. But if you'd like to sponsor a stream, feel free to do so with this link right here. And then also feel free to, let's see here. This is the fitness library. If you want to go over to the shop, get some merchandise. We also got merchandise over here on the YouTube store. So check that out if you need a new t-shirt, of which I'm going to have a couple new products coming out. T-shirts, sweatshirts. We're going to have a Byzantine double-headed eagle, and we're going to have the Chi-Ro. And if you have some other ideas on some good logos, let me know. Also, guys, we have to establish some emojis. I'll be talking with Andrew when he gets on here. I'm going to send him the link, but we have to figure out what new emojis, because of that generous stream with all the different gifting of the memberships. We now have a surplus, and we are open, I think, for 2 or 3 more emojis. So I think Bill Gates is a good one. You know, get a Gil Bates emoji in there, but I'm open to what some of the ones that you guys might be interested in. I know somebody mentioned a nub. I'm not sure how exactly to go about that, but we may do a nub in there. And somebody mentioned Taylor Swift, maybe Taylor Swift, but curious what you guys are interested in. Yeah, Billy G. I think he's a good one. I think we definitely need to do that one. And then also, guys, I just want to say, if you're in the market for some Orthodox items, be it icons, prayer ropes, incense, whatever it may be, go check out orthodoxdepot.com. That's orthodoxdepot.com. That is an Orthodox company here in the Midwest, U.S. And use promo code COTEL. You'll get 10% off all products. It's a great way to help me out as well as yourself. So make sure you use that if you're interested and you're in the market there. Also, let me share this link over to Andrew real quick. Let me get this to Andrew. Okay. We'll get BPF in the house today. That's going to be fun. Okay. Okay, Andrew, I just emailed it to you, my man. So the StreamYard link to join the stream is now sent to Andrew over on his email. So, Andrew, check out your big pop-up fascist account. You should have a link sent over there. Yeah, the Gmail or the Gmail account. So check your Gmail account, Andrew. Oh, he said I'll be on in 20. Sounds good, my brother. All right. Well, before Andrew hops on, let's get into some of this madness because it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be all smiles today as we endeavor into the dark abyss of TikTok. So let me pull up some of our stuff today. Okay, here we go. All right. So where do we begin? I have already a handful of tags open on different. So this is what's amazing about TikTok is you can just put in these little titles, of which I can't wait to do LGBTQ witches or trans warlocks or whatever we do today. Again, send in any request you guys want us to search. But no matter what you put in, you get a ton of weird stuff. So I put in New Age magic, witch TikTok. Like look at this cringy promotion of, oh, we're witches. We're witches. We ask, how does this herb feel for you? We'll start with this one. So look at this beautiful witch couple.
We're witches. Nice latte is a potion.
We're witches. Stop asking us to hex your ex and just clarify your boundaries.
We're witches. We will blow cinnamon through the doorway on the first.
We're witches. We cast spells, but only after a quick Google search.
We have a black cat named Thinks.
You're judging way more than we will.
We're witches. Is today the full moon? We're witches. We're gonna ask, what kind of tree is this? What does this mean to you?
What does this mean to you?
What does this mean to you? What does it mean? We're witches.
Oh my god. Oh, where'd it go?
We're witches.
We're witches. We're going to ask, what does this mean to you? Sweetheart, what's this mean to you? What's this piece of grass mean to you? And look at this stuff. This is hilarious too. There's so many of these like signs you're a natural born witch. Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel like you're into mysticism? Yep, you're a witch. Okay, we can't do it because of the music. Let me mute it. Mute. Children and animals are drawn to you. You love nature and being immersed in it. Your intuition is insanely accurate. Meanwhile, look, she has her freaking no bra, huge Tiggo bitties out here with Satan horns over them. And she's covered in tattoos. People confide in you frequently. It's because you're a witch. So I put in New Age magic. This is a funny one too. Now there's a lot of Christians criticizing New Age and stuff like that. Here's some beginner advice for witches.
If you're a beginner witch, here's some advice I wish someone told me before I started practicing. Number one, you do not need to spend all of your money on supplies or buy all these fancy tools you see online. You can practice witchcraft with just some herbs and candles from the dollar store. But your intention and personal power is literally all you need. It doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing or complicated to work. Number two, spells can backfire, but not in the way that you might think. The best example of this that I've seen is that time someone did a spell to attract their soulmate on here, but they ended up finding a stray cat instead. Now, obviously that's not a bad thing, but it just goes to show...
Somebody did a ritual to find their soul, but they just found a stray cat instead. They named it Binks.
So that you need to be very clear and specific with your intentions, because you might get what you want just in a different way than you expected. And lastly, don't feel pressure to become the most advanced witch super quickly and practice every single day. Witchcraft is not a race, there's no rush, and it's important to remember that you still have a regular non-magical life to experience too. So if you only have time to practice on special occasions, or all you do is basic spells like protection and cleansing, that's okay, and you are still just as valid of a witch as anyone else.
So SJW witches, it's okay. Your experience matters. And just because you're a little frustrated and you have Dollar Tree witchcraft, you're still a witch in our eyes. We love you. Here's again, there's so many sassy black women when you start putting in this magic stuff, which I'm not surprised about, but check how sassy this chick is.
Here are my top favorite 3 spells to use as a witch. Number 1.
My top favorite 3 spells.
Need to protect your home. My favorite thing to do is to take a deep cleansing breath and go, you got 3 seconds to get the fuck up out of here, and 2 of them already gone because I can't count shit but money.
I believe you can't count, but I question the money thing as well.
Number 2, got somebody in your sights and you want to make a love connection. My favorite thing to do is to make eye contact, and once they look at me, I roll my eyes, look away, and ignore them for the rest of the night. Why have a stranger when you could have a stalker? Last but not least, Number 3, need to set a really hard boundary with somebody that you care about. I want you to conjure up every possible fuck that you can give, shove it up your motherfucking shenoogle of flutes, and then look them dead in their eyes and go, fuck you, bitch, I ain't like you like that anyways. Here are my top.
Wow, that's some powerful witchcraft, guys. So whenever in doubt, just look up Jasmine's Garden. Again, this one TikTok has 233,000.9 likes. Over 34,000 people saved this TikTok. What in the world? Shahem, laugh my ass off. We use the same spells, girl. Baddies think alike. Girl, you may ate 3 baddies. You definitely ate one. Anyway.
Things that just make sense in my witchy house. Doorways are a portal and can collect a lot of unwanted energy. To keep my space free and clear, I give them a good moon water bath, and then you'll find selenite sticks and tourmaline pieces on every single doorway. These help keep that unwanted energy out and allows for the good vibes to flow through. Even your pets will notice the difference.
Single with 2 dogs. Am I surprised? Little things that just make sense in my witchy house. I put crystals above the doorway for good vibes. My husband walks too heavy for free-sitting crystals. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on us. My spell is moldy.
Oh shit. The candle wax is falling off my spell. Does that mean it's failed? Actually, not at all. That really just means that it served its final purpose, done what you've asked, and is ready to move on. However, if it seems to be rotting or molding, or there's bugs around your spell jar, or there's bugs that die around your spell jar for like no reason, that may mean that it's backfired or just hasn't worked, or is really, really ready to move on. If you see any 3 of these signs, please do the following. Take said spell. I'm just using this bottle of lavender because I don't have any spells that are done right now. Cleanse it and carefully pop off the lid. Empty the contents outside. As long as there isn't salt or like wax or anything inside the jar, you can empty it outside. If there is salt or wax, please dispose of it in the garbage can outside of your home. When you're done, just do a protection spell and cleanse. Oh shit. The kid.
Oh, yikes. Oh, here we go. Let's look at the coven. So it's like a little May Day festival here. We got women in white dresses frolicking around a bonfire. Okay, very interesting here. So I guess this goes on for just them bouncing around. Okay. Slow boy whiteboard. Shout out to our sister Kristen. Oh. There we go. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's going on, man? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. What's going on, brother?
Just living the dream, ready to dunk on some TikTok witch skanks. Can't wait.
Dude, there's
I got
tons
my
of them.
morning cup of coffee and cigarette ready. I just can't wait to trash these wenches.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, congrats on all your stuff over in California, and I caught Access Vegas, dude. That was a pretty fiery exchange. The women weren't feeling you too much there.
No, they seemed to just be mad at my existence, didn't they? Just the fact that I existed was enough for them.
Well, I can't believe you're staring at one of them for 20 seconds straight before you even went live.
That was all bullshit too. Like I'm going to get into all this. This is the first time I've been on a stream since I just flew in late last night.
Right.
And I'm going to be doing a bunch more traveling again soon. But yeah, I'm going to get into all of that, all the behind the scenes. And, I took a cameraman with me this time. And
right.
So we got all the behind the scenes at whatever everywhere. So it was really good.
Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting exchange on that show. And those chicks, the twins, somebody made a comment about how the twins need to stop sharing the same brain. That was hilarious.
Oh my God, they were so bad. Those chicks were so awful.
They were absolutely
they were fucking awful before the show even started. They were awful. They just there wasn't a single minute that those chicks weren't just terrible.
Yeah.
I can lift more. I can lift more than you. And be like, you couldn't fucking lift it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like your point, like, what does that have to do with the
It
conversation?
has nothing to do with anything. Yeah.
They're so stupid. So shout out to Crispy Rothschild for renewing his membership. Everyone nub up now. Dr. Crispy renewed his membership. Shout out to you, Crispy. Really appreciate you. Kristen threw in a super chat for $5 and says, lesser known ritual, but don't look up women eating their own starfire. Oh boy. I don't know if we want to go down that one today.
Yeah.
And then Melly, shout out to Melly, throws in $5, says, Andrew, God bless you for dealing with those banshees in Vegas. Vegas isn't sending their best with women.
No, Vegas is not sending their finest. I can tell you that. That's for sure.
Was there a vibe difference between the Whatever podcast and Access Vegas?
No, there's just no control. There's a control difference. You know what I mean? Like usually a show host will control things a little bit, try to keep things on track. You know what I mean? But that was more of a well, you guys are all in a room, just go ham on each other. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes.
Well, you did good, man. You kept your composure. Like at no point were you raising your voice or getting frustrated while all those women were, going crazy, saying nonsense, totally emotional. Like the meta discussion, like right over their head for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was fun though. That was fun to do. No, I don't want to discuss the discussion. But I want to discuss the discussion. But I don't want
the way
to
you say it.
It's the way that you say the things in the discussion. But I don't want to discuss the discussion. But what about how I feel? Don't you care how I feel? I don't care how you feel. But what about that though? What about how I feel? Patrick.
It's so true. Hey, how did the Zens treat you when you weren't able to?
Those are great, dude. The only problem, okay, so I got to Whatever, and Brian comes over to me, and he bought me like 30 of those in all different flavors, right?
Oh, wow.
Zen packs, and he's like, these are for you so that you don't have to step off and smoke as much. But they were only the 3 milligram.
Oh, yeah, I do 6s.
Yeah, well, I do the 9s, right? The 9 milligrams.
Yeah.
So I was like, so what I did was I took 3 of them together and crushed them together and just, 3 at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that worked okay. I feel like it wasn't perfect, but it worked okay.
Right. Well, I saw you mention that you're using Zens. I was like, my man.
That's
right. I was just up there with you in Michigan, and that's kind of my little getaway. Is
even the camera guy was using them, man. We had them on the planes, the whole 9 yards, because we flew out business select, so you get like drink tickets. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were kicking back and we were drinking on the planes and having a good old time, you know what I mean? And but we were packing those in, and yeah, they worked pretty good.
They do work good. They do work, especially if you have a few drinks. They definitely feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Shout out to AC, throws in $20. No comment. Thank you so much, AC. God bless you, brother, and the family. And Testicular Tactics throws in $2. Says, does Andrew smoke so much that he craps tires?
Yes.
I don't get the question.
I don't either, but yes. Yes, anyway.
All right.
It's a Saturday stream. Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
You want to throw in $2 for that? Throw in $2 for that.
And Anthony Stoic over on Streamlabs throws in $10 and says, appreciate your work, brother. Fellow Hoosier here. Oh, fellow Hoosier. Would love to visit your parish sometime. Well, come down tomorrow, dude. St. Mary of Egypt in Greenwood, Indiana. I'll be there. If you're free, come down there. Anthony Stoic. Would love to meet you. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. All right. Well, I told people to send in requests if they want to go down any particular rabbit holes today, because I wanted to put in like LGBTQ witches, which I think we can do right now. LGBTQ witches. Have you ever been censored over on TikTok?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mostly
do the lives, right? So
right.
They'll like
well,
they'll nuke me in, like I'll put a live up, you know what I mean? And it'll get up to 1,000 people watching, and then they'll just nuke it.
I believe it. I was saying I've posted, there's like 4 different reels I posted that was okay on YouTube and TikTok took down. And so it's so funny how TikTok like promotes the most degenerate shit you can imagine. And yet if you just put anything remotely conservative or counter narrative, they're very quick to censor that.
Well, you have to understand that TikTok is one of the only mediums that's like this, where the user base is predominantly women. And I mean overwhelmingly women. So if you're looking at 70-80%, what you're looking at is the mind of a woman. The entire video conglomeration.
Is that why it's so dark?
Yeah, that's why it's so insane. That's why you feel like you're on here and you're like, why is everything crazy and makes no sense? And these people are stupid. Like, what the hell is going on? Well, it's because you're in the mind of a woman. You're literally in the mind of a woman. That's why it's all madness all the time. Like, we'll go on these panels on TikTok, and those are crazy. You've seen those, right? And they're crazy. You know, you'll jump on a panel full of these women and they just lose their minds. You haven't even said anything yet. You're just like, well, you know, I disagree. And they're like, oh yeah, what are you, some kind of bigot? You gonna beat your wife? You know?
Oh, all right. Let's see what we got here. Any one of these kind of pull out to you. This one certainly seems to call a little bit of attention. Let's check out what this beautiful, beautiful angel has to tell us.
What it really means to live like golden. Sweetheart, are we offending you? We're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see it shine, we're golden.
Okay, that's gay. Let's see what this ghetto queen has for us.
Sure I am. Witches aren't real, aren't they? Well, if you're a witch, do a spell. Fine. Well, aren't you gonna do it? I just did. Well, nothing happened. Wait. You're not a witch.
So what's she wearing? Like assless chaps here with like a underwear on and a bra?
Well, I don't think her Sims are watching her for the spell casting. Let's put it that way.
That has 3.4 million views.
Well, yeah, again, I don't think anybody's watching her for the spells, right? They're clearly watching for a different reason, right? Notice that none of these witches are wearing sundresses, right? And I think that their channel, the reflections of their channel and how many people watch their videos are a direct reflection on how scantily they might be clad, right?
Right. I totally agree with that. Let's see.
They should be called skanked. What would you call them? A skank witch. We got to combine that word somehow, right?
A skank witch.
A skank witch. It's a TikTok skank witch today.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of those. This guy has his title "Things Gay Witches Say."
Oh, he looks like a winner.
After meeting people on Grindr, I kind of like to, just
Oh.
collect out a little bit.
Hang on, pause it.
Maybe bad boys.
Just hang on. I don't want to lose my lunch right away. After meeting people on Grindr,
I like to do a cleansing ritual.
I like to do a cleansing ritual. That is so foul for so many reasons. Like the overt implications are so bad. My cleansing ritual post Grindr.
Oh my gosh. Once I get my next STD, I'd like to do a little bit of a cleansing ritual.
That's right. A little bit of smoke keeps the HIV away. You know how it goes.
Hashtag Humble Strong said he's just hiding a fart.
Boys, and do some crystals tonight. I know he's a Virgo, but he is a Leo moon, so that kind of the magician in this deck is an absolute daddy.
Ew.
Hi, I'm Clarabelle Ortega, Jenna Ortega's sister, and
what is the LGBTQ inclusive fantasy series Witchlings about? Oh, let's check it out.
I'm going to tell you what my fantasy series Witchlings is all about.
Oh, so she's young and beautiful.
Hi, I'm Clarabelle Ortega, and I'm here to help you if you forgot things. So you want to read the Golden Frog Games, but you forgot what happened in book 1 of Witchlings, maybe because you read it in 2 seconds, even though it took me years to write. It's fine. Or maybe you're one of those chaotic people who doesn't need to read the first book in a series. Tree is attacking me. Or maybe you're one of those chaotic people who doesn't need to read the first book in the series before you read the second book in the series. You probably belong in Goose House, but I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help. Here's what you miss on Witchlings. So book 1, we start off with our bestie Seven Salazar. She's a smart, overachieving witch who knows what she wants. And what she wants is to be in House Hyacinth, the most powerful coven in all of the 12 towns. That's not what's going to happen. Instead, she gets sorted as a spare, a leftover witch who gets treated differently, can't get a good job, has lesser magic. It overall is...
All right, I'm bored with this lady. We're moving on. She has some dumb book about...
I wanted to hear about how the little witch kid was discriminated against for being a minority and a less powerful witch in a land of witches, Patrick, and you've ruined this for me now.
Well, we can watch it if you want.
I was invested in the story, Patrick, and you wrecked it for me.
I know.
You wrecked the whole thing, Pat.
I derailed your climax.
Every single white queer woman thinks they're a fucking witch. How many fucking witches do we have here right now? Yeah, no, I'm looking at you. Yeah. Do you have tarot cards? Right now? You have? Okay. The math is mathing, everyone. They're not my tarot cards. I got them from my witch ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Every single
You know, the irony of that clip, there's so many ironies. One, the first irony is that women can't be funny even if they dress like men, right? So that's
True,
the first irony that just comes across immediately. There wasn't a single thing that this chick said that made anybody laugh, not even the audience. Then you have the second irony, which is that she is so invested in this LGBTQ community that she understands that the amount of witchcraft which is in it is overwhelming to the point that she feels like if she just, asks the audience, at least a couple of them are going to say that they're witches, right?
Right.
Then she wraps the whole thing up with an unfunny joke, right, where she's trying to dunk on witches by acting like they're effeminate, right? These are like irony after irony after
Right.
irony after irony. Just nothing funny, nothing good, right? Women should never be female comedians. They suck at it. They're not funny at all. And yeah, so
That's true. I love the irony of all these butch lesbians that are radical feminists, hate men, and do everything in their power to look like a man. And get offended if you use their wrong male pronouns.
I'm gonna be a better man.
Okay, let's see what this gay dude says. What demons like? Things demons love. You might not have heard of. Flowers and seeds. Sweets. Oh, he's giving the demons cookies. This has 2,500 likes, and this guy has a trans demonologist as his TikTok.
I want to see more. Go, yes.
I need my own demonology.
Oh, this is great.
Demonology 101.
Demonology 101. I love this.
I myself have struggled for a long time.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm working with demons. That isn't fear mongering.
Can you turn it up at all, Patrick? Or is that maxed?
Christian background. And I don't want to say that my book is the only Demonology 101 course out there. I'm sure that there are many others. But my book specifically is focused on being really accessible, having information condensed and easy to digest. Because a lot of times, sometimes magical books can be very long or elaborate. I really just want to get down to the basics so that people can start.
All right, so pause it there. So, well, I mean, you know, when he's reading these ancient grimoires, they're a little wordy, Patrick. You know, they're a little bit wordy when he's doing the demonic summoning. He feels like, you know, they're making it just a little too esoteric. He really wants to make the demonic summoning a little bit more accessible for people, you know, of all sexual persuasions and of all races and ethnicities.
Oh my gosh. That's so sweet of him.
What a swell fella.
Yeah, sweet Mr. Trans Demonologist.
Trans demonology. This is wonderful.
For themselves. So what can you find in this booklet?
What can you find?
Through an introduction to get you introduced to how I've come to demonology, basically the basic history of demons and demonology practices. And we'll talk about the different methods for connecting with demons, learn about demon sigils, and then we'll start to explore some of the ethical questions that a witch might ask themselves. And in the last chapter, we'll talk about what to do next, because we can't capture everything that you'll need in a spell work practice in one book. I'm really excited for people.
You got to buy the next book, of course.
It's only $20 to download.
Yeah.
Link in my bio to order it. If you're interested, always feel free to DM me with any of your questions too.
Oh my God.
Trans demonology pitch. There we go.
Let's hear what he has to say about Baphomet.
So you want to work with Baphomet. Now, first, let's clear up some misconceptions about Baphomet.
Okay.
I think that the biggest one that I hear is that people think Baphomet is like supposed to be a representation of like Satan or the devil or something like that. Baphomet is a being of somewhat uncertain origins, but the first mentions that we can kind of pin down for the figure of Baphomet.
Wikipedia Demonology 101. Wikipedia Demonology. So when I went to Wikipedia and looked up Baphomet, people weren't sure if it existed before the Satanic Church made it up to make fun of Christians or not. So I'm not going to really have a position on this. I read this on Wikipedia, guys. It's true. It's all true. And I put it in a book, which you can download in my bio.
I don't really know much about him, but I know that when I've interacted with him, he's been very, very sweet to me. When I lay out my flower seeds and my cookies.
And my cookies. And my seashells.
Yeah. And then when I have sleep paralysis and he flips me over and we make love, it is so sweet.
He holds my feathers like they're handlebars.
Oh my gosh.
I was just trying to have a cup of coffee this morning, Patrick. You did this to us.
Oh my god.
Which were basically like an army essentially of like Catholics. But they're also associated with like a lot of occult things because they had some strange practices, one of which seemed to be kind of worshiping Baphomet and some other kinds of figures of similar degrees. And it does make sense why people associate Baphomet with demonology, because the Knights Templar were also known for reading the Gospels of Solomon, which includes
There are no Gospels of Solomon. There's called the Lesser Key of Solomon, which has a list of demons that you can conjure, written by small-hatted people. But I've never heard of a Gospel of Solomon.
Yeah, there is a grimoire called the Gospel of Solomon.
There is.
Yeah, this is all Aleister Crowley based nonsense, though. It's just all fictitious, made up nonsense, just like the Lesser Key of Solomon.
No, there's the Testament of Solomon. I've never
Maybe
heard of
that's
a gospel. Yeah, there's the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is deliberately about ritualistic magic.
Yeah.
And usually that's what they refer to. So if you put in like Lesser Key of Solomon, this is a book specifically on ritualistic magic, which Aleister Crowley was in favor of. Yeah.
Told you how many legions the demons had and all that shit.
Right? Exactly. All 72. So it gives you the names and ways in which you can conjure all 72 demons under Satan. But I've personally never heard of the Gospel of Solomon. I see it is based on the Testament of Solomon.
I thought that there was a grimoire on that, though. I came across years ago. Let me see.
There might be. I'm familiar with the Testament of Solomon and the Lesser Key, which is specifically about how you conjure some of these 72 demons. But anyway,
yeah, okay, it's in the 3 magical books of Solomon.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
3 magical.
Yeah, Testament, greater, lesser keys. That's what it's referencing anyway, maybe.
I see. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, the greater key, the lesser key. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to our trans demonologist here and see what goodies he has for us.
Your cookies.
Roots of where we get some of the demonology texts and grimoires that are often referenced. I don't specifically work with Baphomet like as a demon, but I do appreciate him as a symbol.
Of course you do.
Baphomet embodies a lot of different dualities. So like he's part man and part beast, part man and part woman. You'll see he's pointing up and down. So there's a lot of things that are speaking to that idea of dualities. And I enjoy that as a non-binary person. That being said, he's definitely a figure that you can work with. I don't have a lot of experience working with Baphomet, but you could probably apply similar principles as you would to working with demons. You could probably apply them to Baphomet as well. I would say he would probably be great to work with, especially around spells of creativity, self-discovery, things kind of along those lines. And you can watch more.
Why is he wearing like 1950s librarian glasses?
He's a trans demonologist, Andrew.
Well, I mean, does you think it helps him sell more books?
I think so. I think all these people that have.
You think he just went in his mom's drawer and he found those?
Probably.
He's just rifling around and he just found those and he put them on. He's like, these are perfect to sell some books. These are
that. He either stole it from his mom or he did a very special ritual, which they just magically appeared. All right. What else does this guy have? Demons for ADHD. Okay. You have a little ADHD? I got a demon for you.
I was born to answer this question.
I'm sure you were.
As a fellow demon witch with ADHD, I can tell you some great demons to work with if you're trying to manage your life as a person with ADHD. So the two demons I'm going to recommend kind of address different areas. So you might want to lean on one more than the other if it's an area you want more support in. This first demon is definitely not super well known. Their name is Andralphus. They're often depicted as like a horse with like peacock feathers and stuff, which I think is pretty rad. But the reason why I'm recommending
A horse with peacock feathers. It's so rad.
Stop judging, Patrick. You're such a judgmental person. All you're doing is judging. He's trying to tell you about horse peacock demons right now and how they can help you manage your ADHD, and all you're doing is dunking on it. You're a real jerk, Patrick.
I know it. When he says what you have to do is conjure the semen from the horse and mix it for your ritual spice.
recommending them is because they're often associated with someone being able to retain important knowledge or improve your memory. I know for me, that's something that I definitely struggle with as someone with ADHD. Then the second
Of course he has ADHD.
Of course
he does.
Of course he's struggling. That's quite apparent.
You know, I mean, well, that's why he's mixing flowers and cookies for the demons, right? He's like, he can't figure out which thing they like. We have some seashells, some cookies, and some flowers and seeds. They love all that shit.
After I go to the elementary playground and give my cookies to the little boys, I go home and I put them out for the demons.
I get out of my nondescript white van with tinted windows.
Yeah. After I go around selling ice cream sickles. Shout out to AC, throws in $5, says the result of Baphomet statues with kids on his lap next to the nub and breasts. Yeah.
Come sit on Baphomet's lap, little Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I am like Baphomet because I'm a mixture of dualities.
What happened to his feathers in his ear? Those were a recent thing. Did he find out he was 125th Cherokee? From his two-spirited ancestor?
Yeah.
Is Aureus. I'm not super familiar with like depictions of Aureus, so I just have his seal, but I do know that he's often associated with keeping a schedule and staying organized, which are also both things that I sometimes struggle with as someone with ADHD. If you want a little bit more insight on exactly how to work with these demons, I wrote a demonology.
If you want any more insight, purchase my book and I'll show you how you fornicate with your sleep paralysis demon.
Can you imagine? Just imagine this for a second.
Oh, God.
There's this war in heaven, this awful war, right, where angels are literally destroying each other. A third of them become demons who end up basically controlling all of Earth under, Satan himself. And this guy thinks he's going to summon one of them, right? One of these creatures is going to show up and be like, let me help you with your ADHD, right? Yeah. It's like, where do these people come up with this shit?
Don't take your Adderall. It's so bad for you. Let me tell you about the demons you need to conjure. They'll help you.
Well, I was reading in my sociology text the other day that you probably shouldn't mix that with caffeine. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Do you also drink too much on your SSRIs? Here's one, somebody asking him about that if he works for the devil since he works with demons. Let's see what his response is.
A huge misconception about demon magic is that it involves some kind of pact with demons or the devil. Hi, my name's Robin. I'm a witch who works with demons, telling people about my practice. And this person is asking a question around like how you begin working with demons. Can you anger them? It seems like it might come from a little bit of a place of fear if I'm making an assumption. So what I will say that is true is that there is a long tradition of people signing their name in like a dark book in order to gain witchcraft powers. That is like a folklore legend that originates probably from back to like the 1700s, at least in the United States, possibly with some origins in like United Kingdom. That isn't generally something that like modern witches do.
Like now.
We're like progressive witches. We don't do that stuff. We don't.
That's gross. That's icky.
We don't sign our names in dark books.
Yeah, that's icky.
We conjure demons for relationships. They're good. They're good entities.
Some do. I've just never encountered it. Ironically, I'm wearing my earrings from that movie, The Witch.
Shocker! Spoiler alert! I got my earrings on.
Long story short, though, when I work with demons, they're not my master. They don't have masters. It is literally like two friends working on a project.
Oh yeah, your buddies.
He literally went there. It's like two guys. It's like working on a school project. You know, the one kind of bullies you, and you're kind of into it.
Sometimes you fall in love with him. You know how it goes. Oh, so bad.
A huge mistake.
Oh my gosh!
All right, one more, and then we move on from this.
All
guy.
right, let's see. What do we want to go with?
This guy says soitonist.
Yeah. That's accurate. That's very accurate. Let's see. I need a good one here. Demons for girl bossing. Here we go. Let's hear the demons for girl bossing.
What are the best demons to work with for girl bossing? Hi, my name's Robin. I'm a witch who works with demons, telling people about my practice. And this person asked what are the best demons to work with for bureaucratic purposes, but I thought girl bossing just sounded more fun.
Of course.
You do not have to be a girl to girl boss, or so I am told. I am non-binary, and I don't know what the gender of this person asking the question is. Just to clarify, I'm assuming basically this person is looking for a demon that would be good to work with for business or like workplace negotiations, stuff like that. First one I'm going to recommend is Malthus. He's generally depicted as this raven-looking dude. Some of the specific skills he's known for are helping you find people who will be advantageous to helping you accomplish your ambitions, and also helping make your competitors essentially like lose. The second demon I'm going to recommend is Cameo or Kame. You can see both of those variations of names, and ironically also often presents in a bird-like form, as you'll see there. And the reason why I picked him is because he's often associated with the ability to make people who used to not agree with you, like, think that you are wise now. He's also
when's that going to happen for you?
Yeah, exactly. He needs to get his little raven guy pronto.
Maybe that demon doesn't like cookies and seeds.
At least not those.
To make others carry out your wishes. These two were the most closely related to your question, but there's definitely other demons that could be used for different aspects of like bureaucratic kind of work. Feel free to ask more questions.
I'm just blown away by anybody who would watch one of these and be like, oh my gosh, he is so wise. He's got his pentagram tattoos, his old lady librarian glasses, those beautiful nose piercings. I want to hear what he has to say. I better go buy his book for $20.
Do you think he lives with his mom?
If
he had to make a bet, does he live with his mom?
I think he probably lives with his male abuser from childhood.
Trans demontologist. A demontologist.
He's actually autistic.
Of course he is.
Oh my gosh.
Those demons are pretty ableist, don't you think?
Very.
They're taking advantage of autistic people like that. Ableist demons.
We're here in queer coven of LGBTQ.
What do you need? I need to talk to a gay person. Luckily, I need to talk to a gay person.
So it's just them saying, I need to talk to a gay person, and they're going to a coven is LGBTQ owned and operated. It's covenantal. Oh, man. A god for the gays.
Shachupili, whose name translates to flower prince, is the Aztec god of creativity, art, dance, and games, and is also considered by many to be the patron god of the gays. Although there is some debate surrounding Shakchapilli's official connection to the LGBTQ community, it is undeniable that the values and ideologies he represents speak directly to the vibrant queer spirit. He is a deity of freedom and indulgence who is unapologetic in his pursuit of love, beauty, and joy. He is the personification of guiltless pleasure, reminding us that despite what others may tell us, the life that we are given is one that must always be celebrated. A few ways to connect with and honor the energy of Shakchapilli include creating art, playing games, and becoming delightfully entangled in a passionate summer romance.
Can we just change this to anything else?
Yeah. You're not interested in Shakchapilli?
I'm not interested in yeah.
Oh.
There's gross and then there's what the fuck.
This chick is just screaming social justice warrior leftist. Let's see what she has to
What
say.
are my thoughts on what Leviticus has to say and other places in the Bible, what they have to say about the queer community? Think of it this way. In polytheistic traditions, there's a reason why they have gods for everything. They have gods for war and storms and plague and illness. If you had an illness, it means, oh, I must have pissed off some god, so let me give them this offering of atonement so that my illness will go away. But if you're living in a monotheistic culture, all of those things are centered on one God. You with me so far? People didn't know what STIs were 2,000 years ago. So if you engaged in some activity...
What's an STI?
Sexually transmitted, I don't know, infection?
Oh, okay.
Let's STI. See what it means. Yeah, sexually transmitted infections. You probably have a few of those.
I'm gonna have a few of them after watching these TikToks.
Yeah.
Up a few days later with a rash where the sun don't shine, the way people thought back then, they probably thought to themselves, oh my God, I probably pissed off the gods or God. And that's why I have this affliction. So I must have done something bad. They put two and two together, or at least what they thought at the time was putting two and two together.
You know,
and then they thought,
one of my favorite things to notate is how modern people think that ancient people were stupid.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things ever is in modernity, this chick who's a fluff brain, doesn't know shit about shit, thinks that her ancestors who at 15 years old were building houses and were out making some of the wonders of the world were just a bunch of knuckle-dragging stupid bastards. It's like, no, I don't think so. They knew where babies came from. They knew all of this stuff. That's just all, it's all myth, right? They just kind of create these myths in their heads that ancient people were stupid. I don't know why.
It's true. It's true. Well, I think it's because the progressive ideology, they just believe themselves to be so much more advanced than everybody else. It's asinine. Shout out to Mud, who gifted 1 COTEL Crew membership. Thank you very much, brother. And for renewing yours, he says, of the demontologist. Is this the LGBT Voldemort? Yeah. Mud, you've met your match, bud. And then Skopoff throws in $5, says, big double dad. Oh, Lord.
themselves, oh, this activity that I engaged in must be sinful. Obviously, we know now that that is not the case. And a lot of those ailments now,
We was
you go to the
DJing.
pharmacy, you get a pill, and you're generally okay. But things that we can cure in like a week nowadays were a death sentence for people 2,000 years ago. And even
They really
as
weren't.
we
First of all, they really weren't. The only reason that you see such a high mortality rate in the ancient world was from infant mortality. Once you pass that threshold, your chances of living a long, healthy life are about as good as they are today.
Right.
It was just the infant mortality rate dropped life expectancy way down. And so these dumbasses conflate this and they think, oh my God, they'd get a little cut on their finger and that would be the end of it. You know, it would get infected and they would die and and they would urinate on it in order to make it, that's what they think. That's how dumb they are.
It's true.
I mean, these people had, if you look at the ancient world, there's all sorts of lore lost for different herbs that people use to treat all sorts of different things, everything from infection to fever. They had all sorts of tonics and teas and tinctures that worked extremely well, very well documented by the philosophers of the time. And it's like they had a whole apothecaries of people who all they did was study this kind of thing, cross-generationally. And these people have lost the plot. They really think that in modernity, well, we have antibiotics and aspirin, so therefore superior. It's like, man, they were doing surgeries 1,000 years ago with very high success rates. I don't know where these people come up with this shit.
It's just because they're historically illiterate and dumb.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how she finishes this. I guess her insinuation is that people were against homosexuality because it caused sexually transmitted infections, but now we have modern medicine. So that was just a misconception that God was punishing you for your gay activity. I believe this is the thesis she's going with here.
We can't necessarily cure today can still be lived with. Like, you can still live a full and happy life with HIV. But back then it was, oh, my brother engaged in this thing and then he got sick and died. So God must think that it's bad and made him sick and die as punishment. That is how people thought back then. Nowadays, we know
think of this irony here. Think of the irony here, right? God doesn't like you doing this activity because it kills you. Right? He's like, that's just proof of their barbaric principles and their stupidity, right? That they would use this as a moral guidepost in order to stop people from doing self-destructive activities. But now you can live a full, happy life with HIV. What's even the problem now? What's even the issue?
Unreal. 6079 Smith West says, how do I get on a stream with one of you someday? No idea. Do you make content? Are you familiar with who 6079 Smith West is?
Nope. Some gematria guy, I think.
Oh, okay. And Rough Hands renewed his membership and said, I cut my hands all day at work. Carpenter. People tell me if I don't get tetanus shot, I will die. Well, I'm alive. Yeah. All right.
Ridiculous.
Well, this woman still has more, apparently.
Infections come from, and more importantly, we know how to treat them if you get them. And we know that illness or infection or diseases of any kind are not God's wrath, but are just a part of life. Think about it. If you lived 2,000 years ago,
2,000 years ago, they were documenting the disease process.
Right.
2,000 years ago, they were documenting the disease process and writing it in their books. Like, what is this lady talking about?
She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just talking. She's just saying AIDS is cool because now we have medicine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Warts where you didn't used to have them. Wouldn't you freak the fuck out if you had no idea where they were coming from? They were doing their best with what knowledge they had at the time. And at the time, the thought was, this must be a punishment. But again, obviously, we know that that's not the case. Also, they saw like full-on Greek adult men doing shit with young boys. And they said, no. Basically, TLDW, take cultural context into account.
What did we just... That made zero sense. That was absolutely retarded. Oh my gosh, look at this beauty. More gay gods.
Did you know it wasn't just the Greek gods that were gay? Let's talk about the Egyptian ones. According to mythology, Egyptians sort of...
Do I see herpes on her lip? What is on the bottom of her bottom lip?
I don't know.
Why do they always look like this? I don't get it.
sort of had an interesting relationship with homosexuality. Because first we have deities like Nephis, who was most likely, probably, definitely a lesbian. She was the constant companion of her sister Isis, and although technically she married Seth, they never had kids. And she definitely could because she had one with Osiris. Now Isis, most likely straight, but a badass ally. She had a large group of specifically gay priests who worshipped her. There's a particular story where Isis supports poor Iphis, who was born a girl but was raised a male by his mom. When Iphis grows up and falls in love with a woman, he prays to Isis to become male permanently, and she grants it. That is some trans support right there. And then, of course, there's Seth and Horus, who've had at least one sexual encounter. Seth
So this is typical of this entire community. So the rejection of Christianity, the push against Christianity, and the move back to pagan gods. The reason it's so prevalent in the homosexual community is because they want a mythology which is highly supportive to their lifestyle. That's why they're always schizo posting about Greek gods, and they're always schizo posting about Egyptian gods or whatever. It's because the actual society from which all of their morality and worldview is based is Christianity. And of course, they're in rebellion to that and in rejection to it. So they move towards this, right? That's what they move towards.
Absolutely. They'll do anything to try to connect dots in mythology to make their point.
Mm-hmm. I follow Greek mythology. It's like, oh, okay. Are you Greek? No.
Yeah.
No.
Did the Greeks give you equal female rights? Well, no, they were misogynists, but they had trans gods.
Yeah, that's right.
Says a lot about their views of gay men, especially because Horus, his partner, exposes him and is the hero. I'm gonna do Norse next. Did you know what?
Oh. Yeah.
This has 70,000 likes. Oh my gosh. I'm always blown away by these TikTok accounts. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
That's all of this chick I can take, bro.
She is gorgeous.
That's all I can deal with for today from this chick.
All right. What do you want?
Invitation to drama, to trauma.
I'm going to say something that may be hard for some of you to hear. Do not
earmuffs, people. Earmuffs.
Invite me to your church. Now let me tell you why.
Okay.
I understand that for you, church.
I think he's wearing Daisy Dukes.
Church is a sense of community, faith, love. But that was not my experience. And that's not the experience that many LGBTQ plus people have. Not to mention the threat of hell if I'm not willing to barter my soul for fealty. And while your goal might be to show me what a loving community you have to share, the church's goal is to convert me. So
correct.
That's right.
So let's just call it what it is, this mission. It's colonization of the soul.
Colonization of the soul.
Colonization.
The white man's
the
getting your
soul.
soul too. Don't go to a church.
This was great.
And it's toxic.
Oh my gosh.
And it's toxic, Patrick.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. I gotta get the rest of this.
Patrick, you're a toxic soul colonizer. A toxic soul colonizer.
Oh.
That needs to be, you know what? That's an emoji you need. Toxic soul colonizer.
Oh my gosh. He posted this. This has 1.5 million.
We still needed to be careful about candy because witches and stuff like that can pray over the candy and put curses on the candy, things like that. And it's just something that we need to be careful of.
What? Curse the candy? Why would we do that? It would ruin the meat.
That has 1.5 million views. Unreal. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, we got enough of that guy as well. Nice pick on that one. That was wonderful.
Okay, so I really want to talk about this. This is a question that I got from someone inquiring about, like, is there...
I think all of the ones we've seen, they all have a nose piercing. None of them just have a normal nose. They always have to pierce their nose.
That's how they spot each other, right?
I really do think it's a marking.
Yeah, you walk in, you're like, hey, gay witch? Yeah, oh, gay witch. Yeah.
Gay about witchcraft, about magic. Why is it that there are so many of our LGBTQ family members who identify as witches or who are in the craft community? I myself being one of these people. I think that this is a really good question. And I think that, like, if we look back through history, if we look through time, queer people, trans people, gay people are, of course, like nothing new. Like, babes, we've been here for quite a long time. And if we look at especially like pre-Abrahamic societies, if we look at a lot of these pagan cultures, oftentimes a lot of the oracles were queer people. The diviners were queer people. The archetype even of witch.
This is boring.
They're queer people. If you look back at the degenerate pagan communities that had boy love, they were queer people. Shout out to Marcus Antonio gifting 5 COTEL crew memberships. Thank you so much. Keep the nub wave coming, guys. Thank you very much, Marcus Antonio. God bless you, brother.
Can we get rid of this chick now? She's like,
yeah.
I don't want to fall asleep watching her. So,
all right, well, what do we want to do now? New search. Tell me.
No, keep going with this. I'm enjoying this.
All right.
Ooh, go up, go up.
Which
Click
one?
the hood. Click the hood.
I'm just attracted to masculinity.
That was immediately worth it. Me literally 2 seconds ago. I'm just attracted to masculinity that doesn't have to be a man.
Look at this comment. I felt that yes in my soul. Hopefully it wasn't colonized.
That doesn't have to be a man. God, kiss me now. Thank God it's been a year. I'm just attracted to masculinity. That doesn't have to be a man.
What the frick? That had what 253,000 views. Crazy.
Go to see more.
See more.
Down lower right.
Oh, that's accounts.
Oh.
Here we go. I don't want to be a petty and vengeful biatch. All right, I'm already done with that music. Wow, this woman looks very healthy.
Hey, excuse me. Yeah? Oh, I just wanted to say I really like your style.
Are you gay? Yes. Okay. Wonderful.
Go, cowboy hat. Cowboy hat.
Damn, how are you so good at this?
How I think it was back during the Salem witch trials when they would catch lesbians.
God.
Oh my God.
Damn. Was that good? Did you like that? Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get all them witches here.
and I like it. I just came 7 times.
What?
What can I say? Girls are just better. We're just like magic. Magic. Guards! Guards! We got witches out here! Guards!
Witches?
She made her come 7 times! Oh no,
There's
ain't
gotta
no way.
be a witch. It's not possible.
Let's get him. Hey, where they at? Let me get some black magic. It's not possible to make a woman feel like good.
Yeah.
I know. I can't do it.
Okay, that was a bad pick on my part. I take full responsibility for that. That was my bad.
But again, the irony, right? So we have a butch lesbian who wants to present herself as a man, mocking how men can't pleasure women, only women can pleasure women. And yet they choose not to look like a woman at all. Interesting. All right. Well, you can't bat 100% here, Andrew. So
gay love magic herbs.
Where do you? Oh,
yeah. I think that there. I thought those were just called roofies. Thought that's what those were called, roofies.
There's
Quaaludes.
Yeah. Disclaimer: I don't necessarily recommend doing love spells, but I do think it's nice to pay attention to specifically gay magic. Okay.
Out there of love magic herbs, but I wanted to do one specifically for men attracted to men. What I'm going to talk about is calamus root, and calamus is specifically associated with men who are attracted to men via the myth of Calamos, who turned into the plant. This root can draw in a passionate and sexual love, and due to its power to control, can bring in a more receptive partner. Secondly, safflower is
receptive, and then he qualified it by saying a bottom.
Okay, so just so you know, right? He is talking about a form of roofie, right? The Egyptians used calamus root as a potent aphrodisiac, right? It was a potent aphrodisiac. So you're gonna what? Spike them with the calamus root? Is that what we're doing?
Apparently,
it's also added to some wines in Europe and in absinthe, also as an aphrodisiac.
Yikes!
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to stay away from that one. So, secondly, staff flower.
or is burned to bring in love for gay men. Sources say that when it's mixed with Samson's snake root, it has the potential to draw in a dominant lover specifically. Third one is either hyacinth, larkspur, or iris, all of which are said to potentially be the flower which Apollon's lover Hyacinthos turned into. It's that connotation of male-to-male attraction. Lavender, which has associations with the gay liberation movement, can bring in a sweet and friendship-based love. Green carnations used to be used to signal one's homosexuality, so they can be used as a kind of glamour to make you desirable or stand out to other men attracted to men.
All right. Wonderful.
It's the power of the cold email. You're telling me I can email any organization?
Okay, this is retarded.
Yep, totally.
Which one you feeling here?
The blonde.
Oh.
Have you ever heard the story?
It was a good pick, Patrick. It was a good pick.
Proof Jesus was pro LGBTQ plus. Have you ever heard the story?
Story about when Jesus healed a soldier's boyfriend. Let me tell you about it. In the Gospel of Matthew, a Roman
His boyfriend. Let's see the gap that they're going to cross to connect these dots.
soldier begs Jesus to heal his male servant, and his love for his servant was so deep that Jesus was moved, and so he healed him. But here's where it gets interesting. Because of the language used in the context of the times, progressive Bible scholars believe that
Progressive Bible scholars. Yeah. So source, I made that shit up.
Yeah. So people that are trying to manufacture a narrative, they said
Yeah.
that
People who read it to be pro-gay say that it possibly, if we look at the language in the context of I made that shit up, you can figure out the link between homosexuality and the soldier.
Yeah.
Progressive Bible scholars. I love it.
praised him for his faith.
I bet you didn't learn that at church. So would Jesus have been accepting towards LGBTQ relationships?
No.
Would Jesus have been pro LGBTQ plus?
No.
Well, the Bible certainly doesn't say no. And
it certainly
Yes, it does.
It certainly
can't say
does.
it can't say no any more clearly.
Yeah.
In fact, the word no is used emphatically.
It literally calls it an abomination.
In fact, Christ's life was all about love, understanding, and acceptance of all. So Christ's followers, if they really want to be like Jesus, shouldn't they start showing some love and acceptance?
Yes. If you wanna show love, you must accept and tolerate everything. All right, let's see what this okay. Never mind.
No, that's no good.
That's no good.
That's no good. Oh, that one looks great.
Which
The
one?
The one lower right. Click that. What's going on
I
here?
never thought at 30 years old I would be in a position to feel shame.
You see, this is why I.
Not only is he gay, he has a lisp.
Well, how would people know he was gay if he didn't lisp?
Well, I think he has a trouble with T's.
Yeah, but that's how they spot each other, right?
That's true. He doesn't have a nose piercing, so I guess that's the way.
Just say the words. Give me the command. Give me the go ahead. I'm ready.
I never thought at 30 years old I would be in a position.
Oh my gosh. Well, looks like she got beat up. The witch talk community.
No. Keep scrolling.
Let's see. This looks like a good one. Okay. So she's attracted to Sarah Jessica Parker. I just saw the one crawling around on the ground here. What the frick? Should we do a new search here?
Yeah, put in LGBTQ tarot cards.
Hi, and welcome to What You Need to Hear with Hunter the Queer. My name is Hunter.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Oh, this has 4,000, basically 5,000 likes.
The Queer. All right, let's see.
Hi, I'm Hunter the Queer. Hunt faux booty is.
Oh.
All right, let's see this magic.
Let's see what the universe says you need to hear today. We have here the Two of Cups. There is a relationship that is going to be coming your way. Congratulations on that. Now with the Ace of Swords, this is actually going to be a brand new start for you, all right? This relationship that is headed your way. You're going to get some new ideas because of it. Now, with the Four of Pentacles here, we actually need to start letting go of some shit in order to make space for that relationship to come.
The four of testicles mean that we need to create more space for more men to bring
Did I tell you
their
that?
ones.
Did I tell you the time that I was on TikTok? I got a hold of a tarot card reader, and she gave me a free reading based on the information that I gave her, which was that I had a mistress on the side, and I couldn't decide between the mistress or the wife. So yes, I've recorded the whole thing. It was great. She was like, you know that you have to pick the mistress. That's who you truly love, right? The wife's just sitting there laughing her ass off.
Oh,
it was
my
great.
Gosh.
It was great.
Oh.
To come in. We are holding on to too much right now. So use this sword energy to kind of cut away some stuff. Create that space for this relationship. Hi.
Okay, I've had enough of this guy.
You don't want to see any more of his wonderful tarot readings?
No.
You don't want to hear what you need to hear?
No. No more.
Oh. What's this? Let's see what she has to say.
Pulled out the most LGBT tarot cards, and I will not be explaining. And here it is, rapid fire. Trans masks at the refresh. Lesbians at the farmer's market. Definitely like a trans femme can be. Lesbian. This is all just in middle school. This is another trans femme for sure. This is a jock lesbian. This is like an NB that's like.
All right. Interesting. So you just point out that every single person's either gay or trans. Okay. What do you think of this beauty right here? That looks like a man. Yeah, guess who? I'm guessing male genitalia.
I read the cards.
Absolutely.
From the classic Hasbro game, Guess Who?
Mike.
Somebody is going to ask you, does my butt look bad?
Okay, this is dumb. Try sex magic.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that one. You want LGBTQ involved in that one?
No.
How sex magic changed my life.
Don't anybody ever tell you that sex magic isn't real? Not only is it real, it's extremely effective. Can't credit all of my success to sex magic, but things definitely started to change once I started using the O method. Sex magic is essentially the harnessing of one's sexual energy to fulfill or actualize one's intentions or manifestations. It started off rough, right? So like I got fired from my job. I hated it, so it didn't really matter. But then I got COVID the same day. I recently went through like a terrible breakup where I was just like left heartbroken for no reason, like literally no reason at all. I'm thinking to myself, my character development arc, second only to Zuko. Really at home, crying, snot, eyes watery, can't feel my face, can't taste anything, can't smell anything. And then I was able to take several weeks off and still get paid. And I used the money that
I thought she got fired from her job.
She was getting the relief fund, probably.
was getting for free to fund my career. As a kid, I always wanted to be a model and an artist.
Oh, no.
As a child, during this time, I get into modeling. Then I get commissioned to do all of the art for this lady's house that she just bought. But before I can even do any one of those things, my new career falls into my lap. If y'all didn't know, I'm a loctician. I do locks. And
a what?
That changed my life.
Her new career is that she does locks, meaning she helps braid and napify hair to create locks.
Okay.
So very, very intriguing and rigorous career.
Life. For the first time in my life, I was in a position financially where I could save money. Like 2-3 months in, I was on an appointment-only basis. Shortly after starting that career, 6 months in, I had my own shop. Not only am I extremely passionate about what I do, but other people can feel and see my passion, and it pays off.
Okay, next. This chick's life story is really sucks, by the way.
Oh, you gonna see the white woman sex magic?
Magic works because you are rapidly imprinting on your subconscious that it is safe to have the thing that you desire. And once you tap into this magic, into this energy, you will start to see how fast that your sexual energy can bring things into your life. Through working with your sexual energy, your intention and pleasure, while this really powerful energy is moving through your different chakras, and while you're visualizing this, your body knows it's safe. It can have it now. It will survive if this was to show up at your doorstep right now. And you will have prepared your body for the capacity to receive your desire.
Yeah, I'm sure that your body's receiving plenty of your desires. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Oh, here we go.
So I was just scrolling on my timeline being nosy, and I came across this video. And in the video, this girl was talking about sex magic. I know it's getting spicy, but hear me out. So that triggered a memory I forgot.
The anime in the back gives it away.
A little bit.
I had about a legit time my friend messed with a demon. And by messed with, she slept with one. So this is what happened. Story time part 1. So
Okay, I don't care.
Blunt as possible. I have a friend who love hood niggas, and there ain't nothing wrong with that because everybody has their type. So she started fucking with this guy that she met on Facebook. Bada boom, bada bang. He comes over to her house. Rule number 1: never invite anybody that you're gonna fuck with to your house. Everybody's house should always be sacred. They have to earn their interest. They don't just come on the first time. Now, I'm not saying you can't fuck with them on the first day because let's be real, we're in 2022. But your house, your apartment, your whatever is a sacred space. Treat it as such. Just my opinion. Don't mean nothing else to nobody else.
Yeah, I've had enough of this too, Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Scroll down. What else we got?
Let's see here. We should put in period blood magic.
Yeah, I don't know. What time is it? It's almost 3. I got to actually get rolling, but I wanted to pop on for a little bit. I appreciate you having me, man.
I appreciate you hopping on, my man.
All right. You take care, buddy.
All right. Easy, brother. Take it easy. All right. So I had some other ones lined up as well. Like this beauty telling us that men can be warlocks. Oh my gosh. Here's one on sorcery.
I'd be happy to help. Here's a quick rundown of all the subclasses of sorcerer using characters from popular culture. Sorcerers are spellcasters that mostly get their magic from their bloodline or genetics.
Wrong. Sorcery is really about the sort of malevolent use of magic. So again, you go into what sorcery is. Sorcery can be witchcraft. It can be diviners, magicians, seers. But typically, it is the invocation of demons, and typically, it has a malevolent agenda on other people. So just FYI.
And for the most part, I've tried to stick to that with these examples. The aberrant mind sorcerer has telepathic and psionic abilities. Their minds were touched by a power from somewhere else. David Haller, or Legion, is a great example.
Legion is a group of demons.
Quirk Soul Sorcerer has order on the brain and in their bones. Dr. Fate is great for this. Divine Soul Sorcerer gets their powers from the upper planes or a divine source. Cordelia Chase.
Look how nerdy and dorky this dude is. He has no masculine presence at all. Has his little hat on and his long hippie beard. Oh my gosh. These people are absolutely ridiculous. This is another one on sorcery. What was the one I had that was really good? Oh, here you go. Look at this hot cat here.
We're doing it because we're disenchanted.
How do you keep magic alive?
What does reenchantment look?
So they're talking about the disenchantment and reenchantment of the world, which is a theory developed by Max Weber, talking about industrialization and rationalism and how these things have disenchanted like mysticism from the world. And so this cool guy here with a cat with a helmet on is getting ready to tell you how magic reenchants.
That is a great question, and that's a great video. Go back and watch it after this. The creator does a good job of explaining disenchantment and reenchantment. And really, I'm just picking up a few threads and adding a little bit of context because I love the idea. I think it's a hugely important idea. I've written about it in all 3 of my books. It's actually especially relevant to the new age, and we'll get into that in a minute. In grad school, I studied philosophy.
Oh, shut up. It's actually, he goes halfway through it. He starts to finally get into it, but it's kind of boring. This chick is talking about the new age to alt-right pipeline. Check this one out.
You're telling me that in the spiritual community, there's new age to alt-right pipeline? That's like something people are talking about? I mean, yeah. You haven't heard of it before?
No, I've never heard of it before. So new age to alt-right.
I mean, I'm like connecting the dots and it makes sense, but how do I make sure that I'm not doing that? Well, first, let's even look at the narrative of new age to alt-right. How? Well, there's a lot of things in New Age spiritualism that prop up the idea of there is still oppression and oppressors, which is a lot of what the alt-right do. I'm not arguing with you there, but I also think that if we just call it New Age spiritualism to alt-right pipeline, then we don't give people who are on the alt-right and are also into spirituality the opportunity to change. It kind of like locks them in. A spelling, like literally New Age spiritualism to alt-right pipeline is a spell. You're doing well. It is a spell. All right. So then how does New Age spiritualism prop up the idea of the oppressor? Well, in New Age spiritualism, basically almost everything has been taken from another culture and then put into one big mixing pot without the consent of all those other cultures. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, pretty familiar. Okay, but again, how do I not do that? How do I not become that? Well, have you started working on your internal oppression and all of the ways that you oppress yourself? I mean, yeah, but I guess I haven't deep dived into it yet. Well, that would be a good place to start. You can also call on the ancestors of benevolence and of love.
The ancestors of benevolence and love.
What are they going to help me do? Well, they'll do what you ask them to do, more than likely. So, like, break my ancestral curses. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, look at you. You obviously come from colonializers somewhere.
Colonializers, not colonizers. Colonializers, which is perfect for Mud Super Chat. Shout out to Mud. Throws in $2, says, and God said, go forth and colonize their souls.
Somewhere. I mean, not all of them, but yeah. Which means the blood of the oppressor runs through your veins. That's really gross. Yeah. Right. So I need to make sure that I'm specifically calling on ancestors of benevolence and love. Right. And the more that you undo all of that blood magic and blood work that's inside of you that makes you the oppressor and be oppressed, it's a weird cycle. What? Honestly, we don't have enough time for that one in this video, but maybe we'll get to it later. So basically just dismantle my belief system, make sure that I'm coming from a place of love, and keep calling death on the oppressors and the oppression in your blood.
Sounds very, very healthy. Sounds like this girl really loves herself and her ancestors.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too difficult. Yeah, don't underestimate that work. Not at all. Don't do that. But why? It's gonna knock me on my ass, isn't it? Hey, you said it, not me.
Wow. So some deep white guilt there. Very interesting stuff. Let's get into something that again has been floating around TikTok. It's called abortion magic. Most of these I covered with Rachel, but it's pretty disgusting. These girls literally teach people how to use their abortions for ritualistic magic purposes.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fuck.
Abortion is a sacred ritual to members of the Satanic Temple, and she's holding up her certificate as a member of the Satanic Temple.
Kill me!
No surprise there. No surprise at all. So you guys have anything in particular you want me to search? I was going to do LGBTQ sex magic. Let's see what pops up. Oh, here we Gosh, these people are so freaking retarded. It's unreal. Oh, here's this beauty.
Honestly, one thing that I just want to say.
She also has something on her lip. What is with these people and like stuff on their lips?
Hey, real quick. One thing that they don't warn you about whenever you're starting a spicy page on the internet is when you post on Twitter and you do your caption and you look back and you read and you see all of the emojis and you do all of the things. There's one thought that suddenly crosses your mind that they do not warn you about when you do all of your research before starting your page. is you'll look back at your caption and you'll get ready to post and you'll go, am I a porn bot now? Honestly, one thing that I...
What? Oh my gosh. Creating sex magic rituals. Yikes.
They want the energy of their kundalini rising and making it to their crown chakra.
Boy, you need to get your kundalini up. I got a sex ritual for you, boy.
Because we create in our wombs. Women create in our womb. We create from...
We create in our womb. And my womb is open for business. You know what I'm saying?
Our womb. So, that root chakra, even the medical sign that you see that goes like this with the two serpents intertwining, that's about the kundalini. Because it's coming from the root. And it's going up your spine. The energy has twined up your spine.
Kit finally found his twin flame. Boy, you better hop up in that womb.
And make it to your crown chakra. Where whatever you were intending or whatever you were thinking about, you create. The universe understands and hears it. And if you got it going up.
Hey, got that crown chakra popping off.
That's what the kundalini energy is.
Oh, is this her again?
A lot of times if you have a person who is extremely elevated or connected to source in such a way as to have, strong psychic powers, a strong connection to their power, their energy. A lot of times when they get into a relationship and a person seems to be really attached to them, even though there may not be any real substance between the two people, it's because that person is.
Okay, that's boring. Let's see. We can put in. Should we do Down syndrome magic? Names bond, sex magic bond. Oh God, does she actually even say anything? Oh God, I hate these with the music. She let me up and let me. Gosh, dang! Everything has freaking copyrighted music on it. Guys, you got some search requests for me? Kundalini, girl, you got to get that Kundalini up. If he ain't rocking your chakras, then he ain't the one for you. Let's see here. Let's put in. What should we put in, guys? You guys got some requests. Down syndrome. I was thinking about it. Oh, jeez. Oh, these are guys doing magic trips. I don't want to laugh at any of them. Let's do sex with demons.
Sex demons are real. Keep watching.
So a lot of people out here is having sex. Some people is spiritually aware that they have to protect their sexual energy from sex demons and energy vampires. Everything is energy. So if you are not aware, then you are allowing yourself to get body snatched from a demon. And I know it can be hard for some people to protect their sexual energy. And babes, check it out. It might not be you all the time. It could be that goddamn demon that wants to be fed. Cold shower, exercising, yoga, running, all of that can help you control your sexual urges and plus more. So to those who really want to learn how to protect their sexual energy in a positive way, follow your girl for more.
Follow your girl for more. Signs you have a sex demon.
A lot of times you won't notice you're dealing with a sex demon. So how I knew I was dealing with a sex demon and I was infested with one was when I was extremely horny. Like I have peaks and periods of like when I'm extremely horny. And that's when the sex demon is driving in my life. It's like I drive it in my dreams. That's when the sex demon is attached to me and he wants to go find new praise. So basically I'll be so horny. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so horny. Like I can't think about nothing but sex. Everything I want to do is sex, and anybody I see, I'm just like, I could fuck him. He look fuckable. Like everything in my mind is infiltrated with sex. And not only that, I feel like I'm gonna die without sex. That's how sex demons are. They feel like they're gonna die without sex, and they really will. Like literally, they prey on people that they can have sex.
Well, to some degree, we can agree with this in regards to demonic temptation, wanting to lure you into various activities that may be detrimental to your soul. So from this, I don't disagree. And the more we engage in those activities, the more we can give power to nefarious spirits. Let's see.
The guy who was having sex with the demon in his dreams, but he didn't know until it was too late. There was a man named Ben who was extremely depressed, and because of that, all he wanted to do was sleep. The only person he'd wake up for was his girlfriend Stacy, but even then, he barely paid attention.
Man, some of these get so boring. Somebody said, what's the white boy have to say? Let's see.
Listen, guys, I'm getting some kickback for saying that the church needs to have sex with God.
What? No, bro. No.
Bride is going to have to consummate the marriage with the groom, obviously, because that's how that works.
Bro, this is getting into like some of that Catholic mysticism from the medieval times where, they start getting into all this sexual metaphors with Christ.
A lot of people are saying that's disgusting. Like God's not a pervert. All this crap, right? I get it. It's a hard teaching. I almost lost my faith over this earlier this month. I am wrestling with this too. I get that it's not comfortable. I get that it's disgusting. But you have to remember why it's disgusting. Because the devil has perverted sex. You guys think that it's perverted, that the church may have to consummate the marriage with God, right? What do you think happens on the wedding night after the wedding feast, right? What happens at any other wedding? The bride, which is the church, consummates the marriage with the groom. And if you're not willing to accept that, and know it's a hard teaching, and no, I almost lost my faith over it.
This is not a teaching. God penetrates the church in regards to his uncreated energies, the Eucharist, the sacraments. This is not about sexual intercourse. God has no need for sexual intercourse.
I'm still wrestling with it. It's hard. You might hear, depart from me, I never knew you, the way a man knows his wife. You're not part of my bride because you refuse to consummate the marriage. The reason it's so unconscionable, the reason it's so disgusting, the reason we're so grossed out by the idea and it feels so perverted is not because God's a pervert, it's because we are perverts. We like sex, right? How many of us aren't watching this are virgins? I know I'm not, right? If I get married, I'm going to be excited about the wedding night. Read Songs of Solomon. That's
all right. So this guy's a retard. So that's good enough for that one. Let's put in Tantric Jesus. Tantric Jesus. See what these people have to say. These retards on TikTok. Oh.
7. So currently in yoga perspective, 7 is a very potent number for connecting
These chicks always have their tits out.
To the 7th chakra, which is the higher dimensions. So the 7th is the halo. It has a huge number of completion. So like 7 days of the week. This is a very powerful day to connect to divine wisdom. So today I've been trying my best to connect and I got some answers and some weird synchronicities if anyone cares to hear. The thing I'm really freaked out about in my own journey is that I keep being drawn toward really mystic stuff like temple arts. And I personally think that this was practiced in ancient Egypt, and this also includes the like original like Christians or even like Jesus.
Yeah, you can tell she really knows what she. It's like the like original Christians in Egypt.
Mary Magdalene would have been practicing these temple arts and this tantric
Okay, she's an absolute retard. So, do we have anything better than this? Let's talk about tantric Christian.
Let's talk about tantric Christianity.
Let's talk about tantric Christianity.
While historically speaking, Tantra emerged from within the religion of Shaivism in the 5th or 6th century AD, Tantra is by no means exclusive to Shaivism, nor even to Hinduism. There are tantric forms of Buddhism, tantric forms of Jainism, and Sufism in India, many scholars argue, is a tantric form of Islam. So are there tantric forms of Christianity? Absolutely.
Tantric forms of Christianity are sometimes referred to as Satanism.
Broadly speaking, Tantra is 4 things. 1, it's an emphasis on direct personal experience of the divine. That means the goal is not just belief or intellectual assent to a book, but rather experience of the truth spoken of in that book. Secondly, some kind of spiritual practice or modality that allows a person to have that experience. Thirdly, a guru or a teacher who can transmit that practice, usually through some kind of initiation ceremony. And 4, metaphysically speaking, an emphasis on the immanence of God. That is the here and nowness of God, God present before your very eyes. And all.
But what I didn't tell you about tantric practices is it comes from the left-handed path where men would wipe their bottom with their right hand and shake with their left instead of shaking with their right and wiping with the left hand on the bottom. And they perform human sacrifice and all types of weird stuff.
All 4 elements are present in Christianity. Many Christian mystics are yearning for the direct and immediate vision of Christ. So for them, it's not enough to simply believe that Christ exists or accept him. It's more important that they experience him, like through vision or through ecstatic experience, like you see with Teresa of Avila.
Yeah, and Teresa of Avila is not a saint, especially in the Orthodox Church. So having ecstatic experience, as we talked about with Orthodoxy, is not the point whatsoever. So this is, again, a new age conception that ecstatic experience leads you into spiritual gnosis, bro.
Avila or John of the Cross or many of the Orthodox or
no, wrong. You do not know what you're talking about.
Russian, Armenian, Greek Orthodox mystics. And of course, in order to have that experience, some practice is necessary. Now, one of the main practices in Tantra is ritual. Puja, it's called ritual.
Puja, yes, is ritual offering. Puja is ritual offering to your supposed deity or tribe. So whether if you're a Vaishnavite or a Shivite, then you offer your puja to a different entity.
Worship. The Catholic form of ritual is uncannily similar to the tantric form. For instance, offering bread and wine and then consuming that as sacrament. In the tantric tradition, this is called prasad, eating the leftovers of God, if you will. The use of incense, the use of fire, the use of chant.
Yeah, we don't eat the leftovers of God. What are you talking about?
All of that in ritual context is mirrored in Catholic ritual as it is in puja. And of course, more than ritual, the use of mantra is central to Tantra. So repeating a certain formula, a certain prayer over and over and over again, using some kind of rosary is one of the central practices of Tantra. We use a japa mala to repeat mantra, and that mantra is often given to you by your teacher. Now, in Christianity, in the Orthodox tradition, they repeat the mantra, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy upon me. In the Catholic tradition, they might repeat Hail Marys or what have you, often with rosaries. So this is also a similarity. And like I said, the emphasis on the guru, like when you read the book The Way of a Pilgrim, you'll see an emphasis on approaching a living teacher who can transmit to you the practices and the inner secrets of your tradition. Even the Christ had a teacher. He approached John the Baptist and he received a diksha, meaning an initiation ceremony that even
this guy's an idiot. He knows nothing about Christianity.
God needed. So as you know, Tantra places a big emphasis on not only the teacher, but on the teacher's role of initiating you through.
So Tantra, we initiate through very sexual rituals. They're very, very fun.
Through some kind of ritual or some kind of ceremony. And finally, the most stunning parallel, I think, between Tantra and Christianity is that Tantra argues, in most of its forms, that God, while abstract and transcendent and beyond time and space, can be experienced here and now. God does appear before people in the form of Mother Kali. God is
Mother Kali, the tantric goddess that is stomping on the chest of her husband and has a garland necklace full of bloody male heads, who wants to destroy men and represents a sort of vengeance female energy that's uncontrollable. Is that the one you're talking about?
Is everything and everyone. All energy is nothing but God dancing within the spaciousness of our own being. So the immanence of God is stressed. Jesus Christ, much like Mother Kali, is an image, or
no,
not a craven image certainly, but an image, an immanent form of God, which we can worship to access that God which is transcendent and beyond time and space. So the very fact that God walked on earth as Christ, that demonstrates God's immanence, God's nearness, and God's compassion.
As a person, though, not some abstract energy that you just described. So, okay, we're seeing some of these. Christianity is just like tantric yoga. No. Is this him again?
You are literally God. Let me show you. According to Tantra, God does.
You are literally God.
5 things. She creates, she maintains, she destroys, and she also reveals and conceals herself within that very creation. Now, these last 2, many traditions in the world call grace and its opposite judgment. But in Tantra, we don't like that moralistic language.
Because you guys don't have morals. That's what Tantrism is. It's the left-handed path. It's the inversion of traditional normal society.
Prefer the language of hide and seek. God reveals and conceals herself to herself.
I play hide and seek with the goddess. Kali, come out. Kali, come out wherever you are.
You are at your essence pure consciousness. And are you not as pure consciousness performing these 5 acts all of the time? For example, when you become aware of something, you create it, as it were. It wasn't part of your experience before, now it is. It will be there in your reality as long as you allow it to be, as long as you attend to it, you preserve it, as it were. And finally, when you withdraw your attention from it, it dissolves, leaving your reality perhaps forever. If you reclaim your agency as the creator, preserver, and destroyer of your reality, that's God revealing herself to herself. But if you forget, God is hiding.
Come out, Kali. Come out. I want to commune with you. Kali, where are you? What is tantric sex?
Tantra. As soon as I say Tantra, everyone's eyes light up and you think of tantric sex, which is essentially neo-tantra. And the reason you think that is because Americans are stupid. That's why you think that. Because we come from a very puritanical culture, and Tantra is essentially pantheism. Pan is everything, theism is God. So pantheism is finding God in everything. And Tantra is finding God in everything.
Kali, where are you? Come out.
That's it. Unfortunately, for the past 50 years in America, since we've lived in this repressive culture, we've equated it with tantric sex, and there's been certain people who go on the radio and they say, oh, I can have an erection for 24 hours and blah, 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 and we don't ejaculate and all this stuff. That's neo-tantra. But if you want to know what tantra is, it's finding God in everything, and that includes sexual union and making it more like a meditation than like a contact sport.
Okay, thank you for that really enlightening piece of advice there, tantric sex guru. Really appreciate that. You guys got any search requests here? Let's see. What's another let's put in gay witches. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah.
If you're looking for gay witches, you're going to want to check out the White Trash Warlock trilogy. White Trash Warlock, Trailer Park Trickster, Deadbeat Druid.
Trailer Park Trickster, White Trash Warlock, Deadbeat Druid.
The first book is about a gay witch who tries to save his sister-in-law from demonic possession. If you're looking...
How can a gay witch save someone from demonic possession?
Look what I fucking found at VMX. You find so many like cheap colognes or perfumes. This little baby was only $12. I know you can't see it, but it says dosed lavender, and the bottle's gorgeous.
It says, I found this little goodie at TJ Maxx today. It is this beautiful, beautiful little lavender bottle. I look at this very, very cute bottle.
I love it. It looks vintage, but obviously not vintage. It looks quite like want to be vintage, but I like that. Yeah. It smells so light and refreshing. I'm into like more soft and like
floral, gay fragrances.
Masculine and feminine combined scents. So I think this is really good. I'm gonna enchant it later and let you guys know how that goes.
I'm gonna enchant it later. I found this really cool bottle. This really cool bottle.
A little witchy tip. When dealing with magical herbs, understand they have many assigned properties. You can't just expect them to know what to do. You have to tell them.
You have to speak to your herbs. Whenever you're doing herbal magic as the gay witch, you have to speak to the herbs and tell them your intention.
You better fucking protect me. A little witchy.
Yikes. Yikes. Witch of the Southern Light. 423,000 followers on TikTok. Wow. Wow.
A little witchy tip.
A little witchy tip. Speak to your herbs and tell them what it is that you want. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hello, darling. I love you. I love you, all my little ghouls, my little boys and ghouls, my skeletaes, my gender non-specific witches. All of you, I love you, darling. Happy season of scary.
That is a demon. Yeah. Welcome to Drag Queen Story Hour with your host, Bale. Oh my gosh. Positively crooked. Yikes. Literally admitting to doing demonic magic. How cool is that? Dating a witch. Let's see what this guy has to say.
What's up, beautiful witches? What have your experiences been dating non-magical folk?
Does he have eyeliner on? He looks like he has eyeliner on. What has your experience been dating non-magical folk?
Struggles, as it were. Have they been as unpleasant as mine? You get to a point in the relationship where you're talking about spirituality or religion or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I'm a witch. And they're like, you fly here on your broom? First of all, no, we take Roombas now. And second of all, I didn't really like you anyways. I think what they don't understand is that it's a spiritual path or even a religion. Not much crazier than your cannibal Catholic mother consuming the flesh and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. You do whatever you want, but I don't want to eat some skinny carpenter. They don't take us seriously.
I wonder why.
But they will. What's up?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got another search. Let's put in transgender magic. Guys, if you have any requests, send those in. Let me just double check the super chats real quick. Let me check Streamlabs. Doesn't look like anything's up over there. Let me check the Dono chat. Nothing on the Dono chat. Guys, if you have any special requests, you want me to look at something specific, send it in. We now have the search for transgender magic.
Trans and non-binary people are literally magic. Let me explain.
Yes, tell us.
Have you ever heard of alchemy? Most people think it's about turning metal into gold, but that's wrong. See, in the past, people who practiced magic were persecuted by the church. Big surprise.
Yeah, because it's demonic, satanic, and creates a whole lot of detrimental ripple effects in society.
So in order to avoid detection, they had to communicate in a kind of secret code, and they used alchemy as that code to avoid detection. So the transformation of metal into gold was actually a code for the transformation of the soul. A central theme of alchemy is about combining opposites together, like the unconscious and the conscious, and masculine and feminine. So now fast forward to today. Trans and non-binary people are bravely exploring the gender spectrum and what it even means to be male, female, both, or neither. They're challenging traditional gender norms and are catalyzing a societal evolution. Trans and non-binary people are living embodiments of alchemical magic. By blending the masculine and feminine within themselves, they're not only transforming their own identities, but changing the very way we as a collective understand gender itself.
Yes, my favorite part's the alchemical process where they invert a penis into a plastic vagina. That's my favorite part of the alchemy.
Trans and non-binary.
If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. Okay. If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. You'll be a man.
It still looks like a feminine man. It's all trans femmies, no magic.
All trans femmes, no magic.
There is a legitimate reason for this.
I love her necklace.
Most magicians, the best magicians, aren't really performing as themselves. You build up a character to perform as. Magic is a very male-dominated activity. And you know who's going to flock to a community that teaches you how to perform masculinity in an audience-pleasing way? Closeted trans femmes, autistic people, and autistic closeted trans femmes.
Oh my God.
Sidebar, this is why magicians are insufferable off stage. They never stop performing.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting little video there. Let's see. Oh my God, no. Oh my gosh, that is a man. Let me feel my fantasy.
I don't want realism, I want magic. Yes, magic. I don't.
Looks like another man. Yep, it says trans girl. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. So cool. Oh my gosh. This one says, you'll be shocked, but I have a magic wand. Is anyone surprised? I'm trans. Oh my God. Let's see what this trans
Are
has.
you a boy or a girl? I'm a fucking god. Okay, but like.
I think you're confused.
Like, what's in your pants? Fucking magic. Are you?
Oh my God. These people are ridiculous. Don't scroll. I'm a trans girl with a magic wand. Is there anyone who isn't afraid of it? Gross. Okay, I'm done with the transgender thing. I'm done with that. Let's do drag queen magic. Oh my gosh. Everything's about having a magic wand for them. Okay. Drag queen magic. Let's see what comes up. Let's put in drag queen magic ritual.
Hey, I've been working on something. Tell me what you think. O power from the great source, hear my plea from deep below. Adorn this vessel in colorful karma. It's time to wake up!
What in the hell is this? What in the dark pit of hell is that? Oh my Gosh, this is dark. Cartier, the queen on glamour magic.
Hi, I'm Cartier the Queen, and
What the hell kind of eyebrows did this man draw? They literally look like devil horns.
I want to talk about glamour. Glamour is a word that we think about with fashion, beauty, living the high life, fashion magazines, all of that sort of luxurious sense of living. But in fact, the word glamour is a magical term. A glamour is a certain kind of spell to create illusion. Witches of yesteryear would use glamours to allow themselves entryway into certain places where maybe they wouldn't normally be welcome, like perhaps a party they hadn't been invited to, but who the person they had their eye on was going to be there. So they would create a glamour, a spell of illusion, so that nobody would really know who they were, would fully recognize them, and that their aura of beauty and luminescence would sort of shine through.
Yeah, nothing is really shining through with you, sir, unfortunately.
Do you ever wonder what a drag queen does at the side of her performances? Well, I'm going to show you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Page 3. I'm a drag queen from London, and today I would love to show you my morning to evening ritual of a drag gig. So these are just some of the things that...
Okay, not interested. Sorry, bud. Let's put in drag queen witches. Gosh.
Hi, I'm Animosity, the tarot reading drag queen. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear.
Hi, I'm Animosity. I don't tell you boys what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. And here it is.
This reading is for you. So, okay, Five of Wands reverse. So you are dealing with some scarcity mindset where when you go out into the world, you are expecting it to be nothing but combat. And you are feeling like you are not going to survive that struggle. So much that you're staying swiping on TikTok instead of going out and conquering the things you need to be conquering. So let's find out what advice you actually need to help you conquer what I think is the scarcity mindset. The Emperor reverse. I think this has something to do with you wanting to make sure that certain uncertainties are in fact certain instead. You know that isn't how life works. So let's find out what you need to get you through and stop holding things so tightly. High Priestess reverse. This means that when life gives you limits, it's because those limits are really lessons to help you become a better person. So if you're resisting your spiritual growth and telling yourself that you're not going to survive the battle, then you might as well just go ahead and keep swiping. If you found this reading helpful, I'm Animosity. Good night.
Yikes. That has about 700 likes. Hi, I'm Animosity. I'm going to tell you something really cool.
So fun fact and completely true story, not only was my Nana a witch, my first roommates were a coven of witches and a 6'4" drag queen named Dirty Diana. I'm telling
6'4" Dirty Diana? No, thank you.
you, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. Weird as hell, but some of the best times ever. So fun fact.
Yikes. All right, guys. I think I'm going to shut things down now. I didn't know if did anybody put in any particular requests. You got a search request? I'm willing to do a couple more if you guys have. Yeah, spiritual growth. Yeah, what spiritual growth? I'm with you there. Not really seeing much growth. Yikes. Okay. Okay. This one working? Okay.
Yep, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yikes. Oh my gosh, furry magic? I'll put in furry magic. Let's see what it says. Furry magic. Oh my gosh. What?
Oh no, a fluffy wizard. What magic spell will he use? Here it comes.
gosh.
What? I'm ready.
Okay. I am a little confused. I don't see too much on actual magic. Let's put in furry witch magic. See what comes up. Furry familiar.
Hey, everyone be quiet. Everyone be quiet.
I feel this is a very fair question.
Nice answers only. Hey, everyone be quiet. Everyone be.
Can I be a familiar if I'm a furry? Okay.
I feel this is a very fair question.
That is a fair question, and considering how many times I got tagged in this discussion, I feel like it's safe to say that we found my niche. Hooray! Well, familiar is a spirit who enters into a quid pro quo relationship with a witch. The familiar assists the witch with their magic, and in return, the witch provides the familiar with shelter and or sustenance. And while a familiar is a spiritual being, it can assume the form of an animal or humanoid. And a furry is nothing if not both. So yes, a furry can absolutely be a familiar. The only qualifiers being that the furry is actively helping the witch with their magical practice, and that the witch is paying the furry back for their efforts by doing nice things for them.
Okay. All right. Well, Dano just renewed his membership. Thank you so much, Dano. He says, how fine do you think the line is between practicing real witchcraft and the average TikTok witch LARP, if you get my meaning? Well, I mean, that's a fair question. No doubt about that. I think that the line is blurry, but I think even doing some of these TikTok LARP witch stuff is absolutely going to be detrimental for some of these people of opening up demonic activities. I mean, again, you just noticed how almost everybody we watch today is pro LGBTQ, pro the scarification of themselves. They all kind of look the same. Very few of them are, attractive in any effort, but I think the real witchcraft, real ritualistic magic isn't far away from these sort of LARPing people online. And I think that's why, from an Orthodox Christian perspective, we can see so much chaos around them and in their life. So I think the line between real magic and the average TikTok, I don't suspect it's too distinct, really. I think that even if you're LARPing, pretty soon you're going to fall victim to the reality of what they're dealing with. And shout out to Wicked Wally. God bless you, brother. He throws in $5, says magic? More like trans people are tragic. Am I right, boys? Yeah. You are right, Wicked Wally. God bless you, brother. Always appreciate the jokes. Hilarious. Thank you so much. All right. Well, gentlemen, ladies, looks like I don't have any more special requests on any specific topics. So we're going to call that a day. I'm going to be back with a much more optimistic stream. We're going to be looking at how to protect yourself from demonic attacks, how to know if you are under a demonic attack, these types of things. Oh, wow. Marcus Antonio just gifted another 5 COTEL crew memberships. Shout out to Marcus Antonio and all the nubs out there. Thank you so much, brother. That is very kind of you. He gifted 10 COTEL crew memberships today. Shout out to Marcus Antonio. Shout out to all the nub crew out there. Really appreciate you guys and really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. I got to get to Vespers this evening because this stuff is a little bit too degen for me. But thank you so much, Marcus. Really appreciate all the support, brother. God bless you, man. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Marcus said good stream. Thank you, brother. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, despite the atrocities we had to look at today. So it's the season of the nub, says Leaves of Grass. It's true. It is. Marcus Antonio said, love the stream. Thank you very much, brother. Truly appreciate all your support. Let me just the Jono chat real quick before we hop off. And it looks like we're good. So again, welcome all the COTEL crew members to the last membership. Welcome Man's Jolly. Welcome ABK. Welcome Ali Drinky Poo. Welcome Kicks Against the Pricks. And welcome Dagan McCluskey to the COTEL crew. Really appreciate it. Guys, smash that like. I'm going to be back with a video potentially tomorrow or Monday where we're going to be talking about orthodox understandings of demonic attacks, how to protect yourself, how to fight the spiritual warfare. And that's essentially the third part of our Grant Morrison talking about magic on TikTok, and the prevalence of young people, and then looking at how we defend ourselves as Orthodox Christians, given the reality of the spiritual warfare and demonic activity. So I'll be back either tomorrow or Monday with the stream, and we're going to have I think 3 or 4 videos from Father Spirit and Bailey we're going to cover and look over. So that's the next one. That's going to be much more optimistic, much more based, not as funny. We got some really good laughs today, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like, and I will see you guys the next time, which again will be Sunday or Monday. So as always, until then, God bless.